I was able to make $2,000 this week just trading a simple high-day VWAP break. And I even missed a few entries at the open, but I'm able to stay patient and not chase the moves that I already missed and wait for a pullback and simply trade my VWAP strategy, which is going to be a break of high-day VWAP in this example. So you can see just 2 days of trading, definitely a lot heavier on the Thursday, but I just really like the setups to close out a short week. Let's take a look at not the setup that I took, right? These are the ones that I missed at the open, but we took them on stream together. A lot of people were making money on the longs. I think this one's just super clean, but what could be better, right? I'm always trying to just give you a full-out breakdown of these trades inside and out, that we definitely have a strong bullish open here of all buyers. So we definitely know we want to be buying it because the 15-minute on the left here, heading into the open, we had NFP news here already sent us higher off of that daily view up, which unfortunately was pre-market. I'm not trading it, but I've made plenty of videos about it of that daily view up. Wanting to get in and around there because that's normally where moves want to happen from, where the trend wants to continue from, right? So a clean pop off of that VWAP that we're opening the open up here. So it's not overextended by any means, but we have a strong New York open of all buyers, small pullback right to New York. But look how well the buyers defended with these 3 minutes of holding the New York. Stop loss would have to go at open range low. It's only 10 points. And this one would be kind of like a bounce play, right? Because I don't have a high day view up on this one, but I'm sure if you did anchor it, it's probably being broken around there as well. But this is more so just a bounce play of following the momentum, following the direction of trend, saying I want to be a buyer. But if you've noticed, there's no break of the opening range yet, right? These black horizontal levels, this first 15 minutes of the New York Open, we haven't taken out the top or the bottom yet. Not a bad thing, but it could be better because if you've seen any of my videos or if you've seen the Futures 2.0 course on AceFX TV, I preach not to chase the first break because they often don't run. So if we're going to take this trade, I'm kind of going to have to hold through that first break of open range high, which I don't think wants to run. So how could I like this trade? It's a little bit tricky, right? But I'm going to do my own studying on it and get back to you guys as well as maybe there is a way or there's certain days to trade before the break when we have maybe a strong momentum open of all buyers, right? Maybe these are the days where it's more likely that the first break can run because there's a lot of momentum in it, right? Real quick, not to get off track, let's look at the previous days, right? Or no, this is actually the following day, I believe. Might be the previous days. That we have a strong, or not a strong, a break of open range high here. The first break often doesn't run, but look how non-momentum filled that New York Open is of just kind of sideways, buyers trying to hold control. Yep, there's some higher lows. So on the first break, it doesn't really run because there's not a lot of momentum. It's not just fully buyers. So that's why I want to be taking this second break. Makes sense, but we'll get back to this markup in a second. But maybe that's why this first break does run so nicely because there's a lot of momentum in it. The direction is clear. The sentiment of who's been in control at the open is clear. Maybe those are the days we can follow it, right? I don't have any stats on that quite yet, but it is something I'm going to look at because this one ran very nicely and it is a clean hold of New York. Buyers in control, in line with the 15-minute. Everything says to long it, right? So that was on Tuesday. That was on Thursday. So yeah, this was the day prior, right? So Wednesday, same idea of wanting to long it with these higher lows, buyers defending this New York Open like we just said, not chasing the first break because it often doesn't want to run very far. This red candle here could be sellers trying to step back in, take control, especially since we have this blue VWAP here. That's the previous day's New York VWAP. Maybe we're holding it. Maybe we're going to make a lower high off of here. Let me see if that first break of open range high was inducement and now we're going to go lower, or if buyers are actually going to hold control, right? So notice how sellers couldn't take the New York. Buyers defend it well again with another higher low from back here. Buyers are in. So this is like another bounce play, not a high day VWAP play, a bounce play off of New York in the direction of this New York Open. Looking to trade the second break. I just mentioned it a couple minutes ago in a bunch of videos, especially in the course. It's the same price we want to buy it at back here, right? You're buying it over here. But about 10, 15-minute difference, and one has pure profit, the other one has slight drawdown and slight choppiness, that I'd rather be in the one that's ready to go or most likely ready to move now that I'm in, rather than have to suffer through drawdown and hope my stop loss stays safe. I prefer the easier trades because they're tougher to even mess up because it's pure profit, right? What could have been better about this one? It's not on the markup and why I missed it at the open. Maybe overthinking, lack of confidence, whatever. There is the daily view up above us, right? Because yeah, this was the day before this Thursday where we were definitely bullish. This was on the Wednesday where the daily view up or the overnight view up was right above us, I think somewhere around here. made it tough for me to just love the longs because I knew I'd be trading into that VWAP that could have want to be rejected and come back down, right? So trend wasn't fully bullish yet. So I didn't love it, but I missed it. It is what it is, but it is a viable long just following the momentum at the open. Now let's go over the trade that I did take, right? Because those are two New York Open ones that I missed. This one for better reasons of I don't love to trade the first breakout open range high, but it did run without me. Okay, cool. This one I didn't love trading into the daily view up, but it did work out. Okay, cool. I'm not going to catch all of every move. But this is later on in the day on Wednesday to start the week of these examples that it drifted very high from this example back here. It drifted very well, but I'm not going to just chase moves higher. I need to see a pullback, a significant pullback, specifically, hopefully, off of a key level. That we have one over here on NQ now. The high of day is set. We're getting the best pullback that we've gotten today. It's about 45 minutes. You can see the high was set at like 11. It pulls back. Buyers can't take control. Buyers do try to take control. So you could have even longed it here with the stop loss at previous structure. You would survive. But I see them hold again with another higher low. And once they step in again, trying to take that momentum back, that's when I get in long. Stop loss, plenty of space to cover that current structure, previous, and even a little bit more back there to let it breathe because this still isn't the best pullback in the world. It's not off of New York. So let me give it some room to breathe and develop these higher lows. And what does it do the entire time? Although it doesn't just rip to my take profit, buyers maintain control the entire time, continually making higher lows. So I want to be long. I want to be in this direction. I have a pretty good price. If this can just pop already and find the momentum, I'm going to want to be in this, right? And you can see I got out pretty good right at the top just because almost impatience. It was very slow. It's now like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I was expecting buyers to step in and move us to the highs. That didn't happen, although they weren't moving us lower. It's taken a damn while. But another thing to look at, what I definitely could have done better, is you have the high a day here, right? Couldn't break it there. Couldn't break it here. Maybe this second or third time over here, I could have looked to cover profits, saying, hey, this can't break the high a day, or maybe it doesn't break the high a day view up. Don't get a donut. So that's one thing I did do well. I didn't move stop loss to break even too soon. Got to give it the space. But now like the fourth time that it came up to this high a day, could it have ripped higher and I got my 1R, 1.5 R, whatever? Sure. But I got paid for doing the right thing of what probably could save me money in the long term of not taking a donut. Let me just cover profits here at high a day. It's been struggling to break it. It's been a while I've been in this trade. I don't want to walk away with nothing with a donut because I let it come back and stop me out for nothing. Small green is better than small red or even break even, right? So I take the win there as I really just can't break higher. It's kind of out of gas on the day. And we make a little bit of money. But then we come in the next day. Let's go over the charts here. One thing on that one. This is on NQ the very next day. Trading the same idea. We missed the strong pop at the open on the break of open range high. Okay, cool. Not going to just chase that. Let it drift. Wait for a pullback to come in and you set a high a day view up on. And it will anchor that to purple just so you guys can see. And I get in long on the break of high a day because it's their best pullback we've gotten. Buyers are finally back in. I have a clear stop loss structure at the end of that pullback, and we ride that higher, not for the full move up, a new high a day, but a nice little drift higher. And same idea, still making these higher lows while I'm in the entry. And when I'm in the entry, it's making higher lows above my high a day VWAP. Buyers are still holding control. I got out somewhere along here. As I made a new high a day close to my 1R, let me get out of this thing because it's been a while since we've even pulled back remotely close to New York. And I don't think it ever does until the close over here. Yeah. So just following the momentum, knowing that the trend is clearly bullish, right? On this day we went over as well the ideas at the open, but just following the structure, not getting caught in chasing moves up here that could you make money, making a few points to the upside, just chasing moves higher? Sure. I'd rather just wait for the pullback, get in when buyers step back in on a break of high a day, and simply just go continue the trend. Another thing we could look at if I clear all this off, let me turn on the initial balance. That's the red line here. I didn't know it until I entered the trade that we hadn't even taken out the initial balance yet. That's how strong that rip was at the open at 10 o'clock. That the initial balance is set here. There's still no break of it. And we know not only do we probably want to only break one side, we probably want to break a side at least. So if you go over here to Edgefill, you'll see on the initial balance report, you can see the single break is very strong. At once it breaks a side, 70% of the time it continues to break that side or doesn't reverse and break the other side. But look at the no break stat. 6 times out of the last 128 days has it just never broken either side, the high or the low, 5% of the time. So the fact that it looks super strong and overextended, oh my God, this thing's going to be out of gas, I can't long it up here. Statistically, we probably still have more gas in the tank to at least go break that initial balance high and break out of the level, which is exactly what we get here. And of course, I hold it longer because I think it still could move higher. But going into this trade, I have at least a clear target to back to the high of day to break the initial balance. So that gives you a little bit of confidence to sit through the slowness, knowing that, hey, we're probably going to at least break the high. If not, that'd be a crazy reversal and we go break the low somehow. So just following the edgeful stats, following the VWAP. And one other thing we could look at is on ES, because this was on NQ. Let's go back to the Wednesday one. Actually, no, I think it was Wednesday. Let's take a look at Wednesday real quick. So if we look at Wednesday, I'll turn off the initial balance. Let's just turn on the opening range. This was the key example where, let's go to the electronic trading hours, and you'll see it on Wednesday. Where are we at? So back here on Wednesday, clean overnight of just holding the overnight VWAP. Then we come into the open over here. So this is the long I'm talking about, of not chasing the first break of open range high. Let it retest the New York. You guys took the second break of it. This black VWAP is the overnight where we just held it pre-market, held it well overnight, over here as well. So it was just tough to trade into that, knowing it could ultimately want to build a lower high from there and come lower. So we missed the move. But then the longs we're taking in the afternoon come up here when we're clearly now making higher highs and higher lows above the daily. That's why my longs in the afternoon were a lot easier to take, I'd say, because the trend is fully clear by that point, where maybe it was semi-clear here in the morning. So using that 15-minute, using the 1 minute as well, keeps you in check of not chasing moves too early and also not chasing moves once you do miss a move, and staying patient, knowing you can find another entry. So hope you guys found value in it. A clean week of just a couple trades each day, shortened week with me moving on this Monday, bank holiday on the Friday, but you don't need a lot of trades to make good money, especially on the copied accounts with top 1 futures. You can just copy them together on Project X, make $300 an account, $500 an account. You could have $1,500 day, $2,000 days easily, because you're not really swinging that much. You're swinging once or twice a day in the direction of trend, following the VWAP. So I hope you guys made money this week. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Let me know down below what videos you guys want to see next. And as always, trade safe. I'll see you guys on the charts tomorrow morning.